Hello everybody and welcome to the first edition of the Adam Show. Adam Show, however you want to say it. So today, as you saw by the title, we're talking about Kingsman. Kingsman, the Golden Circle, or as my friend Stanley here puts it, the disappointing circle. So I have him here he brought me a couple of points on why this is a terrible film. So Stanley, why do you think it's a terrible film?
It's okay.
Okay, so why do you think it's just an okay film?
Well, that's the biggest thing I have of it, because I love the first Kingsman movie. The first Kingsman movie, in my opinion, was great. I loved it. It was great. It was like the classical James Bond movie, but it had a kind of realistic sort of edge to it with a lot of dark satire, which I loved. You know, if you had told me that your favorite scene in a movie would be a scene where this guy just goes in and massacres a whole people in a church, I would have said that sounds like a pretty sick and twisted movie. But no, it was really fun to watch, disturbingly. But the second one, you know that feeling when this movie's trying to top itself? I've never got that much of a vibe from a fucking movie before.
Here's the thing, the hype was so high. They had to kind of top themselves up.
They didn't have to top themselves, because you miss the point if you top yourself in Kingsman. It's like this dark parody with, it's a dark parody it's sort of like James Bond, but it has a realistic edge to it. This was just James Bond.
Well, no. To be fair, right, this film was described as a James Bond movie, but with funny jokes. So as a funny James Bond movie. So I don't know what you're talking about. But this is from a film critic. This is from an actual film journalist.
No, but the first one, the reason it was so good was, honestly, because it had a satirical dark edge to it. Because it was what these James Bond escapades would be like if you had this realism to it. Where the second one was just Moonraker. It was Moonraker levels of silliness.
I don't know, man. I don't know. So okay, let's see what are your points.
Okay.
Talk to me about the points, because I'm still not convinced about what you're saying.
Well, first off, probably best to talk about the plot. So Eggsy's more experienced now. He's trained him. He's super James Bond level now. And the first scene, we see him with a car chase with this guy, with the guy from the last movie who basically had one arm. He has one arm now because he was supposed to have died. I was confused by that at first, but because Eggsy electrocuted, he was the rival in the training camp, and because Eggsy electrocuted him in the neck, his head didn't explode at the end of the first movie. Yeah, so he has a car chase with him that just sort of ends. Then we go back and we see that Eggsy is still in a relationship with the princess that he had anal sex with last time. Yeah,
but that makes sense.
I didn't criticise it, Adam. Okay. Calm down.
It just feels like it. Calm down. A
lot of people complained about him being with the princess. If you look at Eggsy's character and how he treated loyalty, it makes sense that he would stay with her. And even the scene where because there's a scene where he has to phone her up and I'm gonna have sex with this agent. This
Asian? No, Asian man.
I said really? Agent.
Oh, okay.
She wasn't even Asian.
No, she wasn't Asian. That's why I'm saying, come on, man, get your facts straight.
Anyway, before we devolve more pointless nonsense. She has to have sex with this Golden Circle member, and he phones her up and is like, "Oh, can I have sex?" A lot of people point out that was stupid, and it is really fucking stupid.
It was funny,
but it does make logical sense with his character for loyalty. Anyway, so you think, they start off with missiles flying up and destroying all the Kingsman bases, and finding out where they live. Because the robot arm that he took off of the main villain could fucking crawl like a spider and start typing. That scene was stupid with the arm.
Oh yeah, that was pretty stupid.
That was.
I can't. Yeah, honestly, I have to give it to you there. I can't believe Eggsy forgot about the arm there.
Well, then the thing is that I don't blame Eggsy, because I didn't think it would turn into a fucking spider and then hook himself up with his car. From there, it gathered all the secret agent information.
Yeah, but the thing is how. I mean, yeah, you're right, but. It's also a crucial piece of evidence. It's something that it's enemy technology. It's something. Where did this arm come from?
Holy shit!
He's
just left it there.
Yeah, but that's why
he didn't even notice it.
Yeah, I thought that's your point. So okay, I see your point. Like, okay, that was stupid. It was a spider arm. To be fair, this isn't the first time that people do that as a way to comedic way, I guess. But
it wasn't comedic. It was a serious plot point in the film, and it was fucking stupid.
Well, it was, yeah.
Alright, but then we go on, right? Missiles blow up the Kingsman bases. So the Kingsman, wait, where did they get their lead from? That it was the Golden Circle?
It was no. I think the only reason why they had that information with them is because they managed to hack their database with the spider arm.
Right. Yeah. No, but I mean, like, where did they get the lead on the Golden Circle from?
Oh yeah. Because. Didn't the Americans? Oh, I forgot now. Didn't the Americans capture
Harry? Harry had like this wine bottle for him that he kept after he died. There was this little wine bottle, and then him and Merlin saw the wine bottle, and they were like, "All right, we need to go over to this American wine bit." And then they find out it was
it was whiskey bottle, not wine.
Whiskey. What? It doesn't matter, does it?
Well, it is, man. Wine is French.
Okay, right. And then so they find out it's they team up with the Statesman, and they go on a journey to stop the Golden Circle. And there's a massive problem with the film. How the fuck did she get missiles over British airspace to fucking bomb some random houses in the street? Literally, because she was in... Where was she in? I think she was in South America, wasn't she?
Was she?
She was somewhere in South America, wasn't she?
I think so, yeah.
And she had to get missiles all the way from South America to fucking Britain.
No, she must have, because of her contacts, she probably had missiles somewhere else.
She's a member of a drug cartel. She must have had military-grade missiles somewhere else in the world.
Yeah.
That could... no, but how did they not get shot down? They went over British airspace. Did nobody notice the fucking missiles going over British airspace? This is the place where you have technology for these fucking artificial cyborg dogs, which was stupid, and spider arms, which hack hack British military services. But you can't detect missiles flying overhead.
No. You brought up the AI dogs, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a good point, because if you can manage to make good functioning robot dogs with a good AI, I imagine you have the technology to create missiles that are undetectable.
Undetectable? They literally had missiles coming in the Kingsman base, right? There was this one scene where the British the guy looked up and it said missiles detected. He was like, oh bugger.
Yes, but that was too late. How are they going to?
So they could detect the missiles then.
Don't shout! Okay, calm down.
So they could detect the missiles. Why didn't they shoot them down? Because they knew they were there.
Well, they knew that when it was too late. What I do have a problem with, however, okay, even though, look, I don't agree with your point of the missiles, because you can detect, they did detect the missiles, that's true, but the thing is, there was no point in shooting them down, because they would have died anyway. They were so close.
Alright, why even have missile detecting software in your base?
Well, because the technology
that can stop the missiles?
Poppy's technology was better.
How was how was the drug cartel leader's technology better than the British government's?
Because she controls the drug cartel in all the world. Every single drug... Okay, never mind. Let me make my point first.
That's even stupider.
No, it's not. Okay, let's come back to this later. But let me make my point first. What I do not like about the missiles is that when the missiles hit, they didn't destroy anything else. They just destroyed that one specific place.
How does that work?
Yeah. So when, for instance, they shot the Kingsman shop down, yeah?
Yeah.
How did anything survive next to it?
That's a good question.
I see.
Because it makes for a cool looking shot.
It makes for a cool looking shot. But I don't know.
Here's the biggest sin I have with it. Those missiles took down over half the fucking cast from the last movie.
Yeah. Because they don't have the money for the last movie, man.
But
probably
why?
did.
It was such a waste. And then you bring in all these American characters that barely do anything in the film.
Yeah.
There was no reason you needed to kill off the Kingsman. Like, from a narrative point of view, it raises the stakes, but they never reference the Kingsman being blown up again because they have the American statesman. Like, they do all the things for them. It's not like they were undercover. They could have done an undercover Kingsman story. That would have been cool, but it's resolved 10 minutes later. What was the point of blowing up the Kingsman? There's no narrative reason they should have blown them up.
That's true. Why the Kingsman and not the statesman?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe the statesman had better technology, better missile detecting technology.
Yeah, maybe they wouldn't have had fucking missiles from South America fly over to Britain and then somehow not pick it up until the last minute. But
I see your point.
Yeah.
I see your point exactly.
Yeah. And then we need to also talk about Poppy.
Yeah, Poppy. So yeah, let's go there. Yeah, let's stop with the missiles.
She's the person who controls all the drug cartel. Yeah. Why?
Because she's an amazing business person.
But no, why is she doing what she's doing in the film?
She wants to be extremely famous.
Okay, but like, why? That's not really a good reason to blow your multi-billion drug cartel to the floor just because you want to be famous. Why does she want drugs to be taxed on them? Like,
because it proves a point. She believes that cocaine is healthier than sugar. So it proves a point. It proves that she is doing the right thing and that the world is just looking...
No, that doesn't prove that she's doing the right thing.
I don't know, man. I'm coming up with weird
She just wants to make cocaine legal. Alright, so what I was getting was an Ayn Rand vibe. I think that's what they were going for. The 1950s aesthetic she had, the thing about how government shouldn't regulate things. It was obviously Ayn Rand, or at least that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
But they didn't really do anything with it. And she was... Because, oh god, like, the scenes between Harry and Samuel L. Jackson's character were the best scenes in the last movie. But we couldn't replicate that with an interesting villain.
Yeah, but to be fair, like you can't blame Kingsman 2. Like the last villain they had was Samuel L. Jackson.
Uh-huh.
I mean, you can't live up to that, man.
Yeah, but you know, at least we could have had like a villain that was more interesting than watching paint dry. I feel like that's not too much to ask, is it?
No, I mean it wasn't that bad.
She wasn't that interesting.
No, well.
All she did was like, oh, she put a person in she made a person into hamburger meat. That's all we're going to do with this character. Maybe she's not got any interesting points or things to say, but she's definitely violent. Cool. And that was it.
I mean, yeah, of course, you had to make it like a villain.
That was like watching an edgy sort of like college film school try and imitate Tarantino.
Nah, it wasn't that. Well, I mean,
it wasn't that bad, but it was pretty pointless. It was like, oh yeah, you did kill this guy. That's cool. I know you're a serious threat now. I wouldn't have told that a Kingsman movie would have a serious threat for a villain after the first one, where the main hero massacres a fucking church. But you know, at least that established that.
Well, look, I don't think you can. Okay, no, you have a good point. What's the next point?
Okay, this is really easy. All right, what about we go on to a thing I like, which made me dislike it further?
What?
So, Kingsman 2 has a great attention to detail.
Yeah.
Which I loved. Who's the celebrity called?
Elton
John.
Elton John.
I don't know how I don't know that.
How the fuck do you know that?
Calm down. So Elton John. He appears in the movie. It's funny. He overstays welcome well too long. But the dogs look at Elton John.
Yeah.
And it's like, can't attack Elton John. And there's like, oh, that's a bit funny. He's Elton John. They're not going to attack him. No, it actually comes up later in the movie, and they use it as a way to fight the dogs. When the one-armed guy throws the bowling ball so far that it smashes through a concrete wall. So that hole's there. Oh, okay, so it shows how powerful it is. No, that wall actually comes up later in the film and is a method used to attack one of the dogs again. With that in mind, great attention to detail, right? So you wouldn't have thought that there would be a super massive plot hole caused by one of the gadgets, considering they were putting so much attention to detail. So there's this one scene where Eggsy, the glasses it shows the glasses record everything and shows you what, and they show you what you see. So that's how he was able to answer all the questions that his girlfriend's his princess girlfriend's king father was asking him, because he had someone on the other side giving him the answers. Now, with that in mind, an important part of the film is that Henry basically shoots one of the American statesmen in the head. And they were like, what happened? I was like, oh, he just got shot in the head by a rogue agent. And then the person behind the computer is like, oh, really? Actually, you daft fucking idiot. I can see from your thing that you just shot him. What the fuck are you doing? And then the movie should have ended.
Well, no, it shouldn't have ended.
No, I'm joking.
But, I mean, Jesus.
But, like, what? You put so much attention to detail on this one joke that wasn't even that funny, only for it to cause plot holes later in the film, despite he clearly had a good attention to detail, the director.
Yeah. Well, here's Well, as you say, well, maybe they could have like kind of prosecuted Harry in some kind of way, but
no, it's not the fact that they prosecuted; it's the fact that they ignored like a massive plot hole in the
because
film.
they trust Eggsy.
But they were literally seeing everything through his glasses. In fact, I think there was a scene in the movie where she saw everything from the computer from their glasses.
Well, maybe they weren't looking at the glasses. Maybe no signal. That's. I feel like there was no signal.
They never established there was no signal.
But you have to believe.
That's a plot hole. Just admit it. That's just a massive plot hole that's never explained.
Nah.
Okay, and I think plot holes aside, if a movie still has substance, style over substance, which Kingsman 2 is definitely style over substance.
Yeah.
It can still be good, right? But I feel like a major disappointment is apart from the final fight scene in Kingsman 2, which was phenomenal. In fact, I think it was one of the best Kingsman fights ever. Nothing, and I mean nothing in Kingsman 2 action-wise comes even close to Kingsman 1.
Yeah, that's true. I did when I saw Kingsman 2, I did miss a scene like the church scene. Because I don't know if many people know, but that scene was a one-shot scene. They shot all at once. It took months to do that. And it would have been really good, and it would have evoked some kind of this nostalgia if they had this one scene like that. The only cool scene, aside from the ending, similar to that, is when the guy has the lasso and he fights these people in the bar. But then again, they don't focus with him too much. They focus more on Harry and how they talk into him and how they say that, oh, well, he's not going to be fully operational, to say it in some way.
And even if you if you look at the lasso fight and you compare it to the bar fight in the first film, right? What he liked to do is he liked to speed up the shots between fights. There was like no lag. It sounds like a weird thing to say. But you were always skipping to the next bit. It would speed up the shot, punch, speed up, kick. Compared to Kingsman 2, there is so much fucking slow-mo in this film. And it just kills the action dead. Like, there's slow-mo in the punches and kicks where there doesn't need to be slow-mo. It's not impressive. There's one bit where he does a whip, and it's like slows down when he whips on the floor. But like, what's impressive about that? Slow-mo is supposed to be used when something is just so fast that people wouldn't be able to see it otherwise.
No, it's fearsome.
That's why slow-mo's good.
Well, yeah, but it's fearsome, you know?
It's not. What's fearsome was the super fast choreography in the first film, which has been replaced for a super slow choreography this time. And I don't know why, because the last fight had the super fast sped up choreography, but they decided to get rid of it for most of the movie. I was like, why did you do that? It was just...
Yeah, okay, that's a good point. Yeah. That doesn't make the film terrible, though.
No, I'm not... Yeah, but it's a massive disappointment compared to the first one.
Yeah.
If this had just been a generic action film, maybe I wouldn't have been as harsh on it. But it's Kingsman 1, and I had like high regards for Kingsman 1. It's not a masterpiece by any means, but it was a film that I really enjoyed, and I was super pumped when I didn't think the second one was coming. And now it's just left me in this disappointing thing. I'm not excited for the third Kingsman film.
So there'll be a third Kingsman film?
Yeah, there is a trilogy, they reckon.
Oh, okay.
Well, depending...
Has it been announced?
This one looks like it might be bombing a bit in the box office.
Well,
so, maybe not.
It's quite it's still quite popular among people, though. I mean, yeah, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 56.
It's quite popular among people as compared to non-humans.
What do you mean non-humans?
I don't. It's quite popular among people. I just don't understand.
No. Look, I don't think it's a bad film. I think it's a really good film, and people enjoyed it. That's as seen by people on IMDb. The thing is, you can't trust Rotten Tomatoes. Right? Let's see, what was 54, 56%?
50.
50. Oh, okay. So 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. But let's be fair, they have a history of voting things down. Right. I would trust more IMDb, and IMDb it has about a 7.
Okay. Right.
So yeah, I think it's still a really enjoyable film. I think it's a film worth watching. And I still think it's a film worth paying for on the cinema.
Do you want to know what I think?
What?
I think I don't care about Rotten Tomatoes or IMDb, and I don't need my opinion validated by the internet.
But here's the thing, right? You can't... I mean, yeah, it's Kingsman, but say that you go to... Well, this is another debate, but okay, this is a different point.
Okay.
Well, something totally different. But still, say that you want to go and watch this film, but you don't really know it. It's a film that you don't really know, but you think that it might be cool. So you go to Rotten Tomatoes, you go to these people, and you see a 50. It's going to influence you. It's going to say, oh, I'm not going to pay, £12 in the Odeon to go and see that. No, fuck that. I'm going to wait until it comes up online.
I do actually wonder, this is a good point just to generally talk about. My excitement for the movie did die because I watched a YouTuber called Ralph the Review Maker's review of it before going to the screening. I only watched halfway through the review, so I didn't watch it all the way through, but it did kill my excitement for the film. I was also super confused because the Telegraph, I don't really give a fuck about the Telegraph. I was like, oh, so there's Telegraph there. Then Ralph the Movie Maker was like, yeah, it wasn't that good. I was like, no. No.
Power of YouTube.
And then I saw the movie and I was like, no.
No, okay, so going back to the movie, I don't think it's a bad movie. Do you have any other points?
Let's see. Things we liked. Why don't you talk about what you liked about it? Convince me. Why is this a good movie?
Look. I think it's a good movie. I think it's because it's enjoyable. It makes it emotional. For instance, I was so sad when they killed off Merlin.
Yeah.
That was so... I don't know. I just felt bad for him. You know, he survived a fucking missile. Well, he didn't quite survive.
Well, don't worry, because apparently Harry could be shot in the head and come back by the next film. So I wouldn't worry too much about him.
Are you saying they have some kind of gel that puts pieces back together? Because he got blown up by a landmine. I don't think he's coming back from that.
Well, I wouldn't have said that about a headshot. Let's talk about... Oh, sorry. No, let's
but
talk
here's
about
the thing.
You like.
No, but that's the wonders of nanotechnology, man. That's the wonders of nanotechnology. You can build up anything.
God, nanotechnology, that's right. Oh man, no, because Adam, you probably won't understand this reference.
Okay.
But when they revived him, we used nanotechnology, I almost fucking screamed "Nanomachine Son" in the cinema. I was so happy. Metal Gear Revengeance. It is like Metal Gear Solid. For every sort of science mumbo jumbo that they need to justify something, they're like, well, it's nanomachines.
Well, nanotech, look,
nanomachines.
To be fair, nanotech, you can use that for anything. That's why it's a really good excuse.
I thought it was an interesting thing actually, where you can resuscitate someone through trauma.
Yeah.
They could have done a bit more of that, because I thought, oh, that's just the reason he's alive. But then when they revived the Statesman, I thought, oh, you could do some interesting shit with this actually.
You know what I'm thinking about now? Thinking about the nanotech, and you saying that they could have done something more with that.
Yeah.
You know what comes to mind? What comes to mind is the agent that they tried to save us, because this is one agent in the Statesman that did actually take drugs, and the whole point of them retrieving a bit of the antidote was to save him, mainly. I mean, that was their main motivation, yeah, because he couldn't do enough for the rest of the world. But what annoyed me is why, if you can restore a brain, if a bullet goes in the middle of your fucking brain and they can restore the tissue, how did they not? How can these nanobots not detect what was wrong with him and fix it?
Okay. Do you want to know what? I've just got an even bigger point, right? Like, Samuel L. Jackson shot him plain blank in the head, right?
Yeah.
Never mind resuscitating the brain. How was his whole entire fucking head not exploded? Because he got point blank with a fucking pistol. Like, your head's gone. It's disappeared if it's.
It wasn't point blank.
It was. He was right next to him when he shot him.
Yeah, but that's why. Because he was right next to him, the blast wasn't enough. The bullet didn't stay in there. It didn't explode in there. It just went through.
I feel like
that's what happens.
If you shot someone with a pistol straight in their head, your head's gone.
Nah, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I don't.
Oh, he shot him in the eye, didn't he?
Yeah, he shot him in the eye, and it did go through his tissue, but I don't think it would explode because he was so close that.
I think that would be a better reason for it to explode.
Nah, I don't think so.
That's more power. I might be just bitching pointlessly again.
Probably, yeah.
On this, thank you.
What do you think about the nanobots point? Do you think that's
nanobots?
stupid? I'm making things up now, or what?
Yeah, actually, to be fair, like the problem with nanobots, like you say, is you pretty much can do anything with them now because I don't know. I don't too much of a problem with the nanobots, if I'm being honest. I just mainly just noticed the nanobot thing just to make Metal Gear Solid jokes. That was like the only thing that was any relevant. So I was like, oh hey, Metal Gear Solid.
Metal Gear Solid. Hell yeah.
What else is there? So, what else did you like about the film?
I absolutely loved the ending scene.
Yeah, the ending scene was amazing.
The ending scene was amazing. The combination of practical effects and CGI was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, look, and they sped up the scenes where nothing was happening instead of pointless slow-mo. Wow. It's almost like that unique shot style that practically made the first film what it was actually a really good tactic to use in the final fight. What a surprise.
Yeah.
Alright, okay, Adam.
Yeah.
A sequel should do things better than the first film. Here's what I want to know. Because there's obviously stuff we liked about it. Because it even if it's only like a pale, putrid, like pulse of pus of what it used to be, it would still have some good elements, you know. You know, if you ate like a divine 5-star dinner and then you shout it out, there's still going to be pieces of a 5-star dinner in there, in the piece of shit. So, what did this sequel do better than the first film?
Better. Honestly, I don't know. Because I don't think it did much better. If anything, I can't. Maybe attention to detail, but
did it? Oh yeah, attention to detail. That's a good point.
Attention to detail is probably better than this second one, and maybe it.
No.
I wouldn't say funny. It wasn't funny either because the thing I prefer the first one 10 times over this one. So I don't know really. I don't really know what to say.
Right. Do you know what I think the biggest problem with this movie is another problem that we need to temporarily talk about.
Yeah.
This is like cancelling.
I thought we were talking about good stuff now.
Oh yeah. Well, you couldn't really think of anything. So this is like fucking cancelling stuff. Like Kingsman 2, we need to sit down and we need to talk about like your problems.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
What was with the trailer?
Who's paying for this?
What was with the fucking trailer that revealed everything?
Yes, that's true. I hated that so much.
It was so annoying. That I was so looking forward to that fight scene that took place in the base, the main base at the end. And I was like, I can't wait to see what shots they do because this looks really interesting. But I already saw it, most of it. You know what I didn't want to see, but I got. Elton John fucking take down 2 security guards
with really easy.
And it was like, oh, that's a nice little reference. And despite they bring it back, I was like, oh, Elton John's back again for the dogfight. Yeah, great.
That was really unnecessary. But to be fair, how was Harry going to get out of that situation?
It wasn't. It was a funny. That was actually one of the only funny scenes that Elton John was in that entire film.
Yeah.
But
you know what I hated though?
What?
Well, no, I didn't hate it, but the thing is, it was so obvious.
What's that?
It was amazingly obvious. I saw that coming from the start of the film. You know when they do the golden circle tattoo?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I just knew that someone was going to use that to kill one of the dogs, if not both.
Really? How did you figure that out?
It was so obvious. They paid so much attention to it. It was in every shot. It was there. You could always see it when they tried to hype it up. So you say, oh, what is it? But the thing is, it's normal. It's gold. She's going to tattoo a golden circle on him.
You know what? I didn't have that with the golden circle, but the fucking meat grinder. You could instantly tell what that was going to be used for later in the film.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah. But no, I just thought it just really annoyed me with the gold thing. It was so obvious.
Yeah, and the meat grinder.
But the meat grinder, it's fine. But the thing is,
really?
You can no.
It was more obvious than the golden thing, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the thing, well, meat grinder was really obvious. But the thing is, she's an evil person. She's not done. This is not the first time she's grinded anyone. So.
What a phrasing that was.
You know what I mean?
This is the first time she's grinded someone. You know.
No, but you know what I mean. So it has a point to be there. You know what it's gonna be used for, but it has a point to be there. But you didn't have a point to constantly show this golden thing. This mysterious bucket on top. kind of big bucket.
It was a bucket, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's right. It was this mysterious bucket, and you know that was full of gold. They were going to tattoo them, and one of the dogs was going to, one or both of them. I thought, honestly, at first I thought it would be both.
Okay, I'm going to sound really stupid here.
Yeah.
Can gold be detected through a metal detector?
I'm not sure.
Because I've just thought about this. How does she, if it can, how is she part of the leading drug cartel if she's literally tattooing metal to her drug members? How do they get drugs past the border?
That's true. No, but
gold must not. No, gold can't be.
No,
I'm going to look it up. You continue your point.
Okay. No, I don't think so.
I hope not.
No, even if you could detect metal, actually, I don't know. Even if you could detect metal, right? She controls the world's drug cartel. You would think she can afford a private jet to transport drugs or something. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah. Apparently, yeah. I think you actually can detect gold through a metal detector.
Oh my god.
Okay. Gold nugget hunting with metal detectors. Yeah.
But airport metal detector or just a normal metal detector?
I don't know.
Well, I imagine it's the same. Same technology. Or a little more advanced.
You need to start from somewhere, though, because she was like, oh, I started all the way from the top. It's like, if you had private jets, you fucking cheated. Even though you can't make up the difference of an airport with a private jet. There's a reason why people are, taking drugs and then putting in a condom, stuffing it down their throat, and then walking down the border. Because it's the best way to do things. That's not funny, Adam. That's just an actual event of what happened.
No, but it's true. It's a good point. I'm just thinking about. How does she do that? If like this random person goes through the metal detector, it starts beeping, right, and they see it. Don't you think it would raise some suspicion? Like maybe like after a year, you keep seeing people with this like circle in the same place.
Oh my god, yeah, because they'd have to frisk you, and they'd be like, "What the fuck is that on your back? What the fuck? Why have you got a massive gold circle just fringed into your back? All right, check everything on him. How the fuck did she have a leading drug cartel?
Even if thinking about that, even if there was just one person and this was one guy was cool with it, it's like, oh yeah, you know what, these youngsters do weird shit nowadays. Yeah. How she become the lead? No, it can't be. That has to be for the most elite people. That has to be from the most elite people.
Okay.
That can't be for any old person. If not, it would be stupid. Everyone would know about the organisation. Right. And it's meant to be secret.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, for a secretive organisation, that's a really obvious method.
Yeah.
All right, and here's the one thing. I didn't want to bring this up because contentious issue. Well, no, we're talking about Poppy from Kingsman 2 be a contentious issue. All right, I'm just gonna say it.
Yeah.
They never explained how she got to the did. All I was thinking was, how is this like American middle-aged woman, small American middle-aged woman, like raised her way up in the drug cartels?
That's true. Controlling the world drug cartel. That's one of the things I thought during the movie.
Cause she
like how? Yeah. I mean,
how
Escobar couldn't do it. How did you do it?
Yeah. Because what, did she just go up, like there was this big buff drug cartel dude who has like a private militia, and what, did she go, oh, by the way, eat your men as hamburgers? Did she do that to them? Because she would have got a fucking bullet to her face straight away. I wouldn't have had a problem with it if they, oh, she's a super intelligent businessman, they explain how she did it. But she's just the world leader for some reason of drugs.
Yeah, it's not like she is one, like the best one, like female Pablo Escobar. No, she's they say it in the film, right?
Yeah.
She controls the world.
She controls all drugs.
Yeah, how?
Every drug. And was somehow able to put all of that poison thing in every one of her drugs.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's a good point. How, like, her plan is so flawed. I mean, for her plan to work on a global scale, you need to do that. You need to control the whole drug cartel. How the hell did she do that? In what? How many years did she disappear?
How many years did she disappear?
She disappeared for less than 10 years. I'm sure it's less than 10 years, right? Even if it's more than 10 years, how did you control the whole drug cartel in over 10 years? It would take a lifetime if you could.
Yeah. And
before her plan could come into effect, she would be at least 90.
Jesus Christ. Right.
And even so, Like,
and also, I feel like there's a missed opportunity with the blue vein thing, because like they were This was everyone was like, oh, these drugs are giving me fucking blue veins across my thing, and instead of any normal person who'd just taken illegal drugs and then got blue veins and going, oh my fucking god, what have I done? And then instead they're like posting it on social media. Yes. At first, I thought, I was two feelings about this. Okay, one, this is actually fucking stupid from a realistic point of view. But two, I get it. So what he's going to do is there's going to be this clever parody about social media use and how, no, never brought up social media again in the thing. What I thought was like, instead of, all right, so here's the thing. Here's the blue veins. This is what Poppy does. It's like, this is how you know who's been using my drugs. Look at the statesmen who have been... not statesmen. I mean as in like people in government who've been this war against drugs, but look at the blue veins. They've been taking the illegal drugs. I thought, oh, that's kind of clever. I can't wait to see where they go with it. And it's like, oh, and by the way, they just fucking die. And it's like, oh, well, that was an intelligent thing you could have done that you just wasted.
That is true. Destabilize the... She should have done that. Destabilize politics in every country by seeing officials who are in favor of the drug war. Stabilize all that, kick them all out, put her point in, and then actually introduce drugs. That would have probably been 10 times better than actually controlling the world's drug trade and poisoning it and killing billions of people.
Well, if you have the missiles to just like fucking apparently go through airspace and bomb these places, just bomb missile threats. You don't even need the drugs, they're pointless.
That's true. Why? Oh my god, that is so true.
Yeah.
Why go through that trouble if all you could do is build all these thousands of missiles that for some reason only destroy one specific target, nothing random. So instead of actually making a big wave, they just destroy the fucking parliament, houses of parliament, destroy Washington.
I've just destabilized the government and I now have control of all the drugs.
Yeah.
I'm a king.
Yeah, essentially. And you don't have to kill everybody.
Poppy's a fucking stupid villain. Poppy's a stupid
it's so
villain.
Flawed. Oh my days.
I've broken you. You can now see my point about why Kingsman's flawed.
But it's so flawed. I knew it was flawed because, I mean, come on, every film has its flaws, and logic and everything. But this one is so flawed.
This one's super flawed. And also, like I said, the trailer, because we need to talk about how they just reveal the identity of Henry. In the trailer, they reveal he's alive.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you had shown me that in the actual movie, not shown that in the trailer, better. And he was like, Henry, that's Henry, I've been like, what the fuck? Because even the camera shot just stays on there for like a while. It's just like, boom. And what I should have been like was, what?
Yeah.
Oh God. But instead, I was like, yeah, I saw this in the trailer.
this was in the trailer. Come on, dude. Speed us up.
And that was a massive problem I think movies also have, is that they just blow their load in the trailers way too quickly. I would have cried if Spider-Man had been in Civil War in the movie about the trailer. I know there's that's to do with other things. Like apparently the Sony hack has a lot to do with Spider-Man's in there, so I'm not qualified enough to talk why he's in there. Yeah. But if they'd just shown it in the movie instead of the trailer, I would have been.
Oh, that is actually that is not a bad point. Okay, so should we wrap this up?
Yeah. So, overall, Adam, I want to know, what was your opinion of the Kingsman film before we had this review? I want to know how much I've broken you. What did you rank it before?
Okay, no, I still think, look, before I would agree with IMDb. I would still give it a 7, maybe an 8, 7.5. Let's go with 7.5, but I think it deserves maybe a 6 or 5.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve a distinction, no. No. That's for sure.
You don't get the gold star anymore.
No. It's just so flawed. It's impressive.
I
still like the film. I still think it was an enjoyable film to watch if you don't think
about it.
Yeah.
Just don't think about it.
Don't think about it too much.
Don't think about what you're watching.
Yeah.
Just digest it uselessly and needlessly. Adam supports like a Brave New World style of government dictatorship.
You're fucked up, man. I swear to God, they should do a film like that. They should look.
I'm sure is it Brave New World or Brave New Frontier? As the book's called.
Oh, I'm not sure.
See, I just thought I'm just going to bring that in to make myself look like an intellectual and then just fuck it up immediately by not knowing what the actual name of the book is.
And you did this live. Good job.
Well, I can't take that back. Good thing no one's watching this.
That is so true.
I'm gonna.
Well, I think we should wrap this up.
Okay, I give the movie out of 10. I would give it the amount of IQ somebody who puts metal onto drug dealers would. The amount of IQ they would have. That's what it is out of 10.
Yeah. You know what? Let's just go with it. You know, it's an enjoyable film. Just
if you want to watch occasionally interesting action scenes, then
occasionally just skip the movie. Go again.
Get a DVD, second hand.
Why DVD? Just go online. I'm sure it's free now. It's somewhere free. Anyway, that's all the
Adam
time.
supports piracy.
No.
That's our YouTube channel destroyed. Shut up. YouTube's gonna be like, ooh, can't say that.
No. Oh yeah, that's true. But
Don't watch
watching
online.
this stream. I don't even think YouTube is interested.
Adam is a filthy heathen of a human being.
Okay, so I think that's all the time we have. I'm going to cut your microphone now. Thank you very much. Leave a comment, leave a like if you actually come here. Probably not. Anyway, thank you very much, and see you in the next one.